Heaven Burns Red is a better anime mobile game than Honkai Star Rail, and unfortunately, I was not paid to say this. Now, before we get into it, let's be clear. The top normie Chinese anime mobile games have all been dead the past couple months. There has just been no impressive innovation in any of them, and that is why Wuthering Waves and Sunless Zone Zero are both irrelevant now. And while Honkai Star Rail isn't irrelevant yet, it has been losing revenue since July. This steady decline in anime mobile gaming started on July 1st of 2024 when Revue Starlight Relive announced their end of cycle. And while people were having a laugh at me for losing my $20,000 Revue Starlight account, I did warn that this mess would eventually affect all games. The thing about Revue Starlight Relive is, think of it like the blueprint of all anime mobile games. Like, even if you've never played Revue Starlight Relive, you inadvertently did play it through another game. It's like how C is the basis of all of programming. Like, all software and all programming languages can be traced back to C, and even I, as a soy stack JavaScript Clossysoft Web Dev General Certified front-end gaylord, recognizes the value of C. My point is, virtually every feature, every concept, every so-called innovation Honkai Star Rail had could be traced back to Revue Starlight Relive. Memory of Chaos, dumbed down Stage of Dreams. Pure Fiction, score attack review without ranking. And the most recently added Apocalyptic Shadow, we had that shit in Revue Starlight for years. Then various mechanics like traces originated from Revue Starlight. Basically what I'm saying is that Honkai Star Rail has always been a dumbed down, normie-pleasing Chinese version of Revue Starlight Relive. And that's not a bad thing per se, but now with Revue Starlight dead and not innovating anymore, there's just nothing for Hoyoverse to draw from, and that's why their game is declining majorly lately. Basically, what I'm saying is Hoyoverse just needs another Japanese anime mobile game to copy ideas from, and well, now we have that in the form of Heaven Burns Red. Heaven Burns Red is a masterful anime mobile game that makes very few mistakes. In fact, I think it makes zero mistakes, you all. Like, everything about this game is so intricately, purposefully, thoughtfully designed that I think the studio behind this game had to have hired ex-Revue Starlight devs. Hello everyone, welcome back. So I figured it would be better for this video to visibly walk through and demonstrate to viewers what makes Heaven Burns Red absolutely embarrass Honkai Star Rail to the highest order. The very first thing I want to highlight and give praise to Heaven Burns Red for is its amazing game launching experience. Allow me to show you all what I mean by this. So I will press start here, it gives a Yostar logo, initializes my NVIDIA graphics card for acceleration, and then we are already on the launch screen. Notice how I can tap to start and enter into the game already. All I have to do is press the start button once here. And as you can see, we instantly get loaded into the video game. And I just really find this game launching experience far better than Honkai Star Rail. Like, let's just do this properly and go through Star Rail's launch game process. So I'll click start here, and now we wait. Still waiting. 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 And then we see the Hoyoverse logo. And then I'm demanded to read this warning before playing, but it doesn't give me enough time to read the warning, so now I feel uneasy. Thanks for doxing my email, by the way, very cool. But this is the actual screen I wanted to talk about. Notice how the menu reads start game, so I will now tap on my screen and watch what happens. Did you all see that? A fucking over 5-second transition to yet another screen that tells me to click to start the game again. And I know I'm getting kind of angry here, but I just can't emphasize how dick rip inducing I find this. Like, some people will think I'm being overly hyperbolic or nitpicky, but with an anime mobile game that you ideally log into every day, I just find the amount of time wasted on Star Rail's menu transitions absolutely unacceptable. And like, sometimes I click to start the game on the first screen, and then I go to make a tea or a matcha latte, expecting that by the time I arrive back, I will be loaded into the game. But then when I arrive back to this bullshit, and it just makes me so mad. I guess let's enter the game for completion here. There we have it, we're in the game. So I think for the game start process, it should be quite undeniable that Heaven Burns Red utterly devastates Star Rail. Now, pretty much every way in which Heaven Burns Red is a superior game to Star Rail is due to its complexity. So first off, let's just browse the number of available hoes on game launch here. So hoes in this game are called memorias, and I've currently collected 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 17 times 4 plus 1 is 69. So first, the number is 69. The joke is sex, kill yourself if you laughed at that. But then second, notice how I had the insight to count the columns and rows and then apply the rule of product. Like no other YouTuber would have had that insight. We all know that's true. But really what I'm getting at is that Star Rail only has 60 playable Trailblazers as of now. Therefore, Heaven Burns Red already has a bigger roster than Honkai Star Rail, which has been out for I think like a year at this point. And in addition to this, Heaven Burns Red team composition takes 6 units instead of Star Rail's 4 units. This derives an indisputable mathematical truth that Heaven Burns Red has far more varied and hardcore theory crafting and team compositions, and actually I'll just cut the video here and show that math right now. Okay, I've applied the law of combinations a couple times on this channel, so I'm just not going to explain this to you all. You should research it on your own time if you are new here. Anyways, applying it, we see that Honkai Star Rail currently has 487, 635 team combinations. Heaven Burns Red puts this to shame with a mathematically menacing 119, 877, 472 possible teams in the game. Now, revue Starlight Relive famously had over 300 billion possible team combinations before its server shut down, which is way more than either game, obviously. But the thing is, if we think logically about this, revue Starlight teams took 5 units, whereas Heaven Burns Red teams take 6 units. This means that over time, the complexity of Heaven Burns Red will scale even more exponentially than revue Starlight, and we will be reaching revue's complexity at only 250 units. Now, reaching the point of 250 units might sound like it'll take a while, but that's really not the case because the banner system in this game is so superior to Star Rail. So it's called Recruit in this game, and we just see from the number of banners, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 currently running banners in the game at a time with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8. There's 2 here. So what I was counting there is the 8, sorry, I'm like getting ahead of myself, but there's 8 limited units currently in the game that you can summon for at this moment. Whereas in Star Rail, you only ever have 1 limited unit at a time, and Heaven Burns Red, you have multiple limited units at a time, and this just makes the game all the more complex. Like, I would say around 80% to 90% of the difficulty in anime mobile games is your ability to obtain every hoe the game releases. Honkai Star Rail, you only have to obtain 1 hoe every 3 weeks. But in Heaven Burns Red, and I'll just say this one last time, that there are currently 8 anime mobile gaming hoes in this game, and they all run for only 2 weeks. And this fact alone, I feel non-debatably, non-disputably, non-negotiably makes Heaven Burns Red a far more hardcore gaming experience than Honkai Star Rail. Before even diving into this game's combat, which I guarantee will invert your brain in a major way once we do, let's just first view how these hoes even function. So each of them has memorias, boosters, and even accessories, and we just go here and we see there are still abilities I have not yet unlocked, and I'm already halfway through chapter 2 in this game. And I really do just think this says it all. In Honkai Star Rail, you just do like 1 tutorial and instantly have all the knowledge on how to play the game. But in this game, I have over 50 hours, and Heaven Burns Red is like, nope, you're not ready. You're still not ready to comprehend all the intricacies of every mechanic in this video game. The story in Heaven Burns Red is adequately mid, which places it as an S-tier anime mobile gaming story. This game is actually written by Jun Maeda, who has also written 10 out of 10 stuff like Clanad, as well as 1 out of 10 stuff like Charlotte. But what I really want to draw viewers' attention to is what is on screen right now and the dialogue options in this game. So in the story right now, I was just asked to report the correct number of hoes ready to fight the enemy, and notice how I'm given a choice. Now, I've already played this part, and I picked the correct answer, which is 7 members present and accounted for. However, there's also Reddit tier answers, like we're the Brainy Bunch, which is hilariously unfunny, and what happens if you pick that answer? Well, oftentimes when you pick a Reddit tier answer, you get a bad end to the video game, and you have to play the whole chapter all over again. And I just have to say, the fact that Heaven Burns Red is even punishing in its story missions makes it stand out from the competition. Farming in Heaven Burns Red easily outpaces Honkai Star Rail majorly. While Honkai Star Rail is good in that it's mainly autoplay, you still have to manually press a button to restart a stage. Well, in Heaven Burns Red, you just AFK on this black screen here, and your hoes automatically restart the stages for you. So as you can see, I've racked up 130 wins across an hour and 30 minutes of play. Last, I will go over combat in this video game, which just has so much complexity. Like, there's just so much variance, divergence, fluctuance in the combat system for this game. Actually, it's too complicated for you all to handle. I'll maybe go over combat in another video, but I'm just gonna leave it at this for now. Overall, Heaven Burns Red is a fantastic anime mobile game and easily the best one of 2023. And for me, this game is kind of like the spiritual successor, 3D version of Revue Starlight Relive.